Pirates live-streamed 400 executions. They forgot humans were watching. The Krylaxian pirates had grown bold over the decades. They ruled the Outer Rim territories with impunity, their crimson-hulled warships a harbinger of death wherever they appeared. The Galactic Council had grown complacent, accepting the pirates as an unfortunate reality of deep space. After all, the outer colonies were expendable, mostly populated by lesser species struggling to survive on resource-poor worlds. But the Krylaxians made one fatal miscalculation. They captured a human colony ship. The Meridian's hope had been carrying 400 settlers to New Terra, families seeking a fresh start on humanity's newest frontier. Men, women, children, all packed into cryosleep pods, dreaming of green fields and open skies. They never woke to see those dreams fulfilled. Destiny Chin sat in the communications hub of the Earth Defense Coalition headquarters, her fingers flying across holographic displays. At 28, she was one of the youngest intelligence analysts in the department, but her skills were unmatched. She'd been monitoring routine galactic broadcasts when the signal came through, a live stream on the pirates' public frequency. "Sir, you need to see this," she called out, her voice tight. Commander Rodriguez approached, coffee mug in hand. "What V you got, Chun?" Destiny's hands trembled as she pulled up the feed on the main screen. The image was crystal clear, too clear. A Krylaxian pirate captain, his chitinous face twisted in what passed for a grin among his species, stood before a lineup of human prisoners. Behind him, 399 more waited in magnetic restraints. "Greetings, Galactic Council," the captain hissed in translated standard. "Today, the Krylaxian Brotherhood demonstrates our power. These humans thought to trespass in our territory. Watch as we show the universe what happens to those who defy us." The mug slipped from Rodriguez's fingers, shattering on the floor. For the next 6 hours, the Krylaxians executed every single colonist. They live-streamed it all, their laughter echoing across the stars as they made a spectacle of murder. They wanted fear. They wanted submission. They wanted the galaxy to remember that the Outer Rim belonged to them. Instead, they reminded humanity why predators should fear the prey that fights back. Antonio Vasquez watched the broadcast from his quarters aboard the Edician Retribution, Earth's newest warship. The career soldier had seen combat on 4 different worlds, had stared down alien threats that would make civilians weep with terror. But nothing had prepared him for this. His jaw clenched as the final execution played out. The pirates were celebrating now, raising crude weapons and howling their victory. They'd even tagged the location, a debris field in the Korvax system, where they made their base in a hollowed-out moon. They signed their death warrant. Antonio whispered to the empty room. Within hours, Earth's response began. It wasn't just military, it was everyone. Civilian ships were requisitioned. Private military corporations volunteered their forces. Colony militias from every human world mobilized. Even the scientists and engineers dropped their projects to retrofit vessels for combat. Destiny worked without sleep for 3 days straight, coordinating intelligence from every source humanity possessed. She mapped every Krylaxian position, every supply route, every allied species that had looked the other way when the pirates raided. The Galactic Council sent diplomatic messages urging restraint, warning of destabilization. Humanity ignored them all. Antonio's ship was the tip of the spear, part of a fleet that numbered over 200 vessels, from military dreadnoughts to armed merchant ships. They didn't travel through established jump gates where the Council could track them. Human engineers had spent decades reverse engineering experimental FTL technology, keeping it secret for a moment just like this. They arrived in the Korvax system like vengeful ghosts. The Krylaxian pirates detected them too late. Their moon base's sensors screamed warnings, but by then, human ships had already deployed. The Retribution led the assault, its railguns speaking with thunder as they tore through pirate vessels. Antonio commanded his marine unit with cold precision, boarding actions executed with brutal efficiency. "Remember the 400" became their battle cry, but humanity didn't just want victory, they wanted justice witnessed. Destiny had ensured that humanity's actions were broadcast on every frequency the pirates had used. Every species that had watched the executions would now watch the reckoning. The Krylaxian captain who had led the massacre tried to surrender. Antonio found him cowering in the command center of the moon base. His chitinous plates cracked from the assault. Mercy, the pirate gasped in broken standard. Galactic law? Prisoners of war. Antonio's expression was granite. You broadcast their deaths for entertainment. The galaxy will broadcast your judgment. The trials were swift but fair, more fairness than the pirates had shown. Every crime was documented, every victim named. The Galactic Council protested, citing jurisdiction and procedure. Humanity's response was simple. 400 execution videos sent back as evidence. The pirates were sentenced and imprisoned on a maximum security orbital facility, forced to spend their lives knowing they'd awakened something they couldn't control. Their empire crumbled within weeks as humanity systematically dismantled every base, freed every slave, and seized every ship. Other pirate organizations across the Outer Rim went silent, abandoning their territories and fleeing to the deepest reaches of unknown space. Species that had endured centuries of raids found themselves suddenly free, protected by human patrol ships that now guarded the frontier. 6 months later, Destiny stood before the memorial on Luna, where 400 names were carved into black stone. Antonio stood beside her, his uniform decorated with new commendations he never wanted. The Council is angry with us, Destiny said quietly. They say we've destabilized the political balance. Antonio's laugh was bitter. They're angry because we reminded them what they forgot. That evil unopposed grows bold. That justice delayed is justice denied. And that humans remember, Destiny added. Always, Antonio agreed. We remember our dead. We remember our promises. And we remember who stood by when innocents were slaughtered. As they stood in silence, ships continued to launch from Earth, colony vessels, merchant convoys, exploration craft. Humanity was expanding again, but this time, everyone knew. Humans were watching. And humans remembered. The pirates had live-streamed 400 executions thinking it would inspire fear. Instead, they'd inspired fury, and humanity, once awakened, would never sleep again.